Hi everyone. Okay, so welcome to Successpedia Asia's first live show, Journey to Success. So we are very much in the series of resilience. So on my left here, you can see actually Chef Eric Low, all right, which is a celebrity chef. Yeah. Okay. So Chef, welcome to our show. So you are the first guest in you're the first guest in our show, and so we have a few lineups along the way. For example, tomorrow we have someone. Let me just have a look. So tomorrow we have Ken Teo from Invade, and then after that we also have NYC's David Chua, the CEO of NYC, and also Adrian Gafford, managing director of Orange Esports, that's going to be live with us over the next few days. And we have lined up a whole series of this show all the way up to in Singapore. If you are watching from other countries, actually in Singapore, we are very much kept at home. So once all this is over, then we will have a live show in a very different way. Yep. Okay, so maybe Chef, can you share a little bit about yourself to the viewers?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Chef Eric. Today, as you all can see, there was a little bit of introduction, but let me just share with you a little bit more myself. I've been an F&B professional as a chef for 30 over years, and I've been in multidisciplines of the industry as well. I've done a lot of work in catering, in hospitality, education, as well as new business setup, supporting new business setup. So yeah, I come from a multidisciplinary channel, part of the industry, and glad to share with you a little bit more about what we are going through now in the F&B world in this current situation.
Thank you. Okay, so Chef, I'm going to show the viewers some of your dishes, and when I saw your pictures, right? Let me just share this with the viewers. All right.
Okay.
Now take a look. This is
my favorite little small bites.
Small bites, yeah. Okay, and this is what is this? This is
This is how fun. This is also another one of my Teochew specialties, because I don't cook it the local style. I cook it more on the swatao version, which is not with the pandan leaf.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what is it sushi?
No, this is not really sushi. This is actually a forgotten Teochew dish. This one is actually what we call the glass pork or po liro in
Chinese.
Yes, but actually it's a sugar cured pork jowl. This is a very unique special Teochew dessert dish. Okay, it's not even a starter or a snack or appetizer. It's actually a dessert, because a lot of people do not understand that Teochew food actually is it's very interesting, because we have a lot of savory ingredients being used in sweet dishes. So in Teochew desserts, you see things like pork lard, spring onions, shallots, coriander, fermented bean paste. All these are the interesting ingredients that we use in our dishes. Yeah. So there you go. You have another one here, the classic braised pork.
The braised pork, right?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. And this is one of my favorite. This is the
everybody's favorite. I think a lot of people are craving for it. Missing out on eating it at a hawker center now. Tapao going back home is not the same anymore. So freshly cooked is. It was just a few days ago. All of us could enjoy it, but now we're totally in a different world.
Right. You know what's the funny thing? When I have this dish, right, I will always order 蚝煎不要蚝, because it's very weird, because I don't eat the oyster itself, but I love the egg and the way it's being mixed.
But you should let the hawker add the oysters in, because the oysters have a flavor profile and a briny flavor to the whole thing. So you can take out the oysters after the dish is served, but without adding it anymore, you're missing one dimension of the whole plate.
I see. Okay, maybe next time we can do one, and then I can try. Okay. Yeah. All right. So so now we are going. For the viewers, might be wondering why we are here. We are going to talk a lot about the COVID-19 situation, and we are going to talk about the industry. We can talk about the F&B industry especially. So And if viewers, you have any question, please feel free to just leave your comments, and then Chef Eric will be here to answer all your questions. He can see all your questions, and if you find that he's good looking, just put it up. Everyone can see, and I'll put it up on our live share. Yeah. So Chef.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to throw you the first question. For the viewers, it's just right below the scene. So, what do you think? What do you think of the current global pandemic COVID-19 situation at this juncture of time?
Well, for me, I've never seen such a pandemic in my life before. Although I was back in Singapore um, from my overseas posting during when SARS broke out. That was back in 2003, and that was already something that uh, kind of also pulled down the entire F&B industry. But this one is like a tsunami, So the amount of damage that it has caused, to so many industries, it's really unbelievable. Yeah, although right now we can say that situations are changing in all the different countries. Some countries like China, they are coming out of it slowly. They have already kind of like maybe gone through the worst, and some countries are still suffering the major outbreaks and trying to contain it. And for some countries, they are not able to control it well, and there could be further bigger issues coming along the way. So this pandemic is really, really something that's unbelievable, and the amount of damage that it has caused.
Yeah, you speak about damage. I think that you being in the F&B industry, there's a lot of damage in the F&B industry, especially now. We talk about Singapore itself. We have people that is we can't go out to eat at hawkers, and there's a lot of hawkers that actually has to shut down their services and stuff like this. So maybe you can share with the viewers all this impact on the F&B sector. How do you feel as a business F&B consultant?
Well, the F&B industry in Singapore depends on many different channels. Tourism, fine dining restaurants depends a lot on tourism and expatriate community. The lower channels, the channels like the hawkers, they depend a lot on the masses and things like that. So our entire F&B industry, it's like, although it's dependent on multi-channel, but because of this pandemic, you can see that all across the whole industry has been hammered. Even hawkers, who most people think they are doing a brisk business now because of all the takeaway and everything, actually they are not. They are also suffering, and they have many issues. Some of them have no extra labor help because Malaysians are no longer working in Singapore, and then some of them are facing ingredients challenges because this pandemic is a global shutdown, and because of that, what happens is that supplies are not consistent, and that affects prices. A lot of hawkers are suffering quietly with the increase of many prices of ingredients. Same as restaurants doing takeaways as well, or even caterers. So much as it may look busy, but really not many people are smiling, in this industry right now.
Okay. Yeah, you talk about the ingredients. I was watching news yesterday, and then there's this Singapore company that actually started doing their own vegetables. And they have been doing it all along, and then but it's only recently when there's a shortage of all these ingredients, and their businesses started flourishing. So do you feel in this outbreak, in Chinese we call it 危机就转机. Yeah, in this situation, some businesses may flourish.
Yes, some businesses will definitely benefit from the surge of demand between imported and locally grown. But as you know, generally in Singapore, our food so-called sustainability program is only caters to about 30%, of our consumption. So I guess as what everybody say, after such a pandemic, there will always be a new world order, a new way of thinking. Might have to look into how we can protect our interests better in future. How sustainable we can get with our own locally grown produce, I mean, if we cannot, I know in Singapore it's a very small country and we don't have the land area to our advantage. So if we cannot grow sideways, maybe we grow vertical,
Mm-hmm.
and again, what are the challenges of vertical farming and things like that? And
Right.
also the consumer behavior and perception of like, how the produce are being grown, how the agriculture, the cattle or the poultry is being reared and farmed and things like that. So there are many factors at play. But for sure is that people will start to, maybe the government will start to think about how will we, what are the new ways that we can make ourselves more sustainable without depending so much on relying on global imports and
Right. Right.
these disruptions.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yep. All right. So personally, how long do you think this whole thing is gonna last?
Well, I'm not a saint or I'm not a prophet, so I can't really tell you. But for all the
Mm-mm-mm.
F&B people in the industry right now, we just hope that this thing can be as over as soon as possible, because it's not just currently, but for us, we know that recovery, even during the recovery phase, things will not come back so fast and so easy. We
Mm.
are not really the first industries that will benefit from a recovery quickly. It usually trickles down to us a little bit later, because even now, let's say they find a cure, a vaccine, or a way to manage the situation. People
Yeah.
are really hammered, financially, from a business point of view. A lot of people have lost jobs, a lot of people have lost income. The spending power will not be there so soon. And for F&B, it's going to be a longer journey ahead before we can even see some real recovery and businesses being able to come back again. And as what many of the restaurateurs that friends that I have, they always tell me, and I agree, the profit margins are very thin, and any kind of challenges that we face in this kind of situations, it's a very fragile thing. Can go. Especially when we don't get a lot of support from in terms of landlord and labor and things like that. These two have already been an issue even before the pandemic happened, and then now it's just worsened the whole thing.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I'm actually trying to see who are the viewers that's with us. We have actually 16, um about there, 15, 20, 15, 20. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
can't seem to see their names. So yeah, hello, hi. Maybe you guys can leave some comments. Is there anything that you want to ask Chef with regards to F&B during this situation? Like maybe which store or what type of food is the best for you to order, or how to cook a very simple dish. I think this is a time to ask. Please
Yeah.
feel
Actually,
free. Yeah.
there's two ways to manage the situation now. I think most of y'all will have seen that on social media. There are initiatives to start um, Facebook pages to help hawkers,
Yes.
to help
Yes.
them in this situation, to especially those hawkers who are not, IT savvy. They don't know how to engage delivery apps and things like that. And a lot of the older generation of hawkers are losing out in this crisis, because
Mm.
they depend a lot on customers who patronize them every day. And it's just suddenly now the whole ball game has changed,
Yep.
and they may not be able to catch up. And in fact, a lot of them are not. And luckily, we have a lot of people who are proactive, trying to help them, to load up their pages, making announcement in all the this website. If you go and see the Hawkers United website, I think it's fantastic job done by Melvin. He
Oh,
able
okay.
to keep everybody together, and the thing has just grown from a few days back. They started the page, and now they got more than 150 over 1,000 people
Oh,
in there. So there's a lot of awareness.
oh yes, the hawker safe hawkers page, right?
Yes, they can go in and check and search for their favorite store, their hawkers, check if they're available, open for business. They can tapao, or they can write on the delivery app to help and things like
Yep.
that.
Okay.
So there's a lot of proactive ground up initiatives, which
Mm.
is actually quite comforting in a situation like this. Where
People
you
come
know
together, right?
yeah, and it also forced a lot of restaurants to change their business models, from what they were doing just a few weeks back to what they have gone into right now. Restaurants, caterers alike. Right now people are looking at what is affordable, what is sustainable, to eat. No, people are not looking for fancy food anymore at this as of this moment. You can see in a lot of in Facebook right now, people are posting what they're eating and what they're cooking. You hardly
Yeah.
see all the fancy, pretentious pictures coming on. Everybody is going back to basics, and that's a
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes.
Finally, we see a lot more edible food. As I would, something like comfort food like that.
Right.
Things that what we call uninstagrammable, but then very tasty, very comforting, and absolutely affordable in a time like this.
Mm. Oh, Real Tyler has this comment. Hawkers United is really awesome. Yeah,
Yes,
Hawkers
yes,
United. Yeah. So chef, can we because you know Melvin yourself personally, right?
yes.
Maybe one day we can have him up to share why he started, because it's really it's amazing like when people come
Mm,
together and create something ground up initiative in a time of
yeah,
crisis.
correct.
Yeah.
Because I think this one thing also. A situation like this sometimes it brings out unexpected sides of humanity, and also it's in a way it's good because we are the F&B industry is actually quite united now.
Mm.
In the sense that we all know that it's a crisis that everybody is facing, whether you are a fine dining restaurant owner or whether you're a hawker store. Everybody is in the rut together. You know what I mean? So
Yes, yes.
a lot of this kind of initiatives to help one another. That is a very heartwarming thing that we
Mm.
see. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. We've been talking about business being affected. So how about yourself? We know that. So how do you think business are affected? You already answered that. And for yourself, how are you affected?
How am I affected? Because I said, I think most people who know me, they know that I do not own a restaurant. I am probably basically more as I work as a consultant. So I'm very much into project work and, events with media or in education as well. So a lot of all these have already been stopped and, some of the projects are cancelled. Some have
Mm-hmm.
been postponed. Put it simply, I'm also jobless like a lot of people in F&B.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
like
I
me.
mean, it's not the best times that we have had, but it's actually a big crisis that everyone is going through,
Mm-hmm.
and we are all thinking of ways, how to overcome. And much as we are also fighting the fire up front, there's a lot of initiative and a lot of sharing between other F&B operators. Like, let's not just look at fighting this fire up front, but what we can do, as a collaborative
Mm-hmm.
post COVID-19. How are we going to plan our recovery? How are we going to strategize our businesses?
More for
Uh,
the post
yes,
recovery
yeah,
lah.
yeah. I think this is something that a lot of so-called business people are also already having this at the back of their head. Post
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19, what are the things what are the right things that we should do, to facilitate business recovery. So, like for me, in multi channels, I talk to my project partners and my clients that whatever we have postponed, we keep it to as it is. I
Yep.
mean, just change of dates, basically. That's all. We try to fill our calendar, if we can, after these 2 months, all the way to the end of the year, keep ourselves busy. We initiate, like for me, but educational front, I'm going to grassroots teaching, going back to schools
Oh,
to their CCA programs and things like that.
right.
So yes, it's all about staying very positive and keeping your spirits up, looking forward to what can be done and achieved after this storm blows over. But at this moment,
Yes.
everybody is fighting very hard for their own survival and trying, to get over this difficult time, which of course I am also. A lot of things are unpredictable. Suddenly new announcements from the government can affect how the way we're going to make our living and things like that. So
Mm.
for me, it was a gradual shutdown because it started with a slowdown of projects
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
and events being postponed. And it was not too bad. I could still go back to education. And then now with all this social distancing and policies on staying at home and stuff and things like that, the new laws and everything. Basically, it's to me it's a almost a 90% shutdown.
Right.
So I think everybody's affected, and as well as myself.
Chef, sorry to interrupt for a bit. Because you mentioned a lot about not about education. So I was very wondering, when you say education means that you actually coach and teach people how to cook, and then
Yes, and the thing is that I do it in different ways. I do team building sessions. I do grassroots leisure cooking classes. I
okay.
I work with schools on CCA programs for some of the students, like part of their student care initiatives. So
Ah,
schools that have less students who are less privileged, and also, as I always mention, that cooking is a life skill. So when it comes to the educational part, it's not about cooking the best dish, but you know, getting yourself a life skill that in times like this it becomes very, very useful. You can
mm,
see, like for example, during the past few weeks, when people are rushing to the supermarket and hoarding, essentials. You can see what they buy. A lot of them buy instant noodles, they buy canned food, they buy food. That's so sad. And then it's like you can see the number of people who are able to cook and those who are not able to cook. So I think in
mm,
Singapore we
mm,
are
mm.
so spoiled with the hawker center choices and the variety of food that we have and the convenience of eating out that nobody really looks at cooking as a life skill. Maybe as a
Right.
hobby, yes. But I
Mm-hmm.
believe that cooking is always one of the most important life skills that anyone should have. It works for you everywhere, anywhere.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So
and
true,
yeah.
totally believe in that. Second, whatever you have said, especially for the ladies out there to grab hold of your hubby. If you can cook,
Yeah.
you can grab hold of them. But for the men, people like me who can cook, haha, yeah, it's a bonus.
Yeah, I think for men, I think I don't I have quite a number of guys in my cooking classes as well. They for them they take it as a hobby, but at the same time they really love to cook as well
Mm.
because yeah, sorry, I think that's hi, can you see me?
Yeah, we can still see you.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry.
So sorry, I got some disruption on my side. So
Yeah,
but anyway,
don't worry, don't
so
worry. Yes.
there are guys who attend cooking classes as well. I know that they're not CC about it. In fact, I think that for girls they're quite lucky that you can find a guy that cooks for you because
Mm.
you never know when it becomes useful, and of course you get spoiled by all his successful creations as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So yep.
Okay. All right.
Mm,
So yeah. So since we have gone into the topic of family, husband, wife, cooking, we are more into humanity. So my next question to you will be how do you think humanity, or in fact Singapore or the world, is
mm,
performing now in the fight against pandemic? We know that China has already declared that Wuhan is open up, and then
yeah.
we have Malaysia and Singapore in the almost similar state, and then
Mm,
we have the European side that is in a shutdown mode, like
yes,
Italy,
correct.
and yeah, and US is still in a daydreaming mode. I'm not sure what mode they are in, the US mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but for yourself, how do you feel as the human, as humanity? How are we doing in this fight?
I guess humanity presents itself in many different ways. As we can. I mean, let's not talk about the rest of the world because who are we to judge as of this moment? So we talk about what's happening in Singapore. Like I say, it's very heartwarming to see all the ground up initiatives that F&B people are putting out to keep the industry alive and able to beat this storm that we are all going through.
Mm,
As much as also we also see that there are also a lot of selfish people around sometimes. Sometimes we can see that the situations where people are trying to, as we say in Chinese, 趁火打劫 also, you know what I mean? Yeah, so humanity
mm,
presents itself in many different form. Recently, these few days, with the so-called the circuit breaker,
yes,
measures in
yes.
place, we see a lot of people who sometimes try to beat the system, challenge the authorities,
Mm,
it's kind of a little bit of a lack of maturity in their thinking,
right.
and it's a crisis that everybody face together. As much as they don't like it, I also do not like it myself. But everybody just want this thing to blow over quickly, be able to contain and manage, and we can all go back to our lives normal together. But there will still be people who are stubborn, who would want to challenge. Yeah.
Chef, talking about all this breaking the system and challenging, I have the right article prepared. This is the article. Coronavirus. 10 non-essential businesses were told to close after flouting circuit breaker rules. That means they were supposed to not continue functioning, but yet they went on to with their businesses, which personally, I mean, as a business owner and yourself as a business, I think we understand, but I'm not sure. So what do you think about this?
Well, I guess as much as most business owners, if they can, they would not want to close or shut down. But
Yep.
again, I feel that everybody should always look at the bigger picture. It's not just about your business that's affected. I think everybody's business is affected in one way or another. And all it takes is one or two selfish, people to disrupt or to really, screw up the entire circuit breaker initiatives. And then we have to go, for a long time on this. And this is not beneficial, especially for F&B. Already, right now, we're not even the first month. We have so many businesses, in the danger of closing down, looking at, bankruptcies and things like that. And the longer we drag this thing, the worse it is. So for those businesses who really, really, can help in this circuit breaker situation, please, I mean, money can be earned on any other day. That's what I'm trying to say. But at this point, please help those who are struggling, those people who really need to go back to work, who really go back to help, to restart their business, restart their jobs, looking at, trying to put food on the table for the next couple of months and things like that. So I guess humanity has a role. Hopefully that everybody has a better moral compass. Don't just think of your own survival, but think of, as an entire profession, the industry, or even at the country level. I think everybody can play their part in this.
Chef, someone said hi to you, Jackson Cole. Hi, Chef. Is that your friend?
Yeah, one of my Facebook acquaintances.
Okay, yeah. I saw one of my friends coming in, Hong Wei Jian. Wei Jian is actually our ex-national basketball player from Singapore Slinger. He put up a post, I think 2 days back. It was very interesting. So he was telling all the influencing coaches in the basketball scene to use their influence to tell all the kids and the youths and the students, don't find a court to play, because there are youths, like what you said, all these circuit breakers, but we have circuit breakers. Yeah. So we have a lot of people that wants to continue with the business, and then in social life they want to continue to play basketball and stuff like this. So yeah, so it's very interesting, like what you said, we should use our influence to
Well, the thing is that, you see, Singapore in its 50 years of more than 50 years of nation building and as a country, we have never faced such a restricted movement situation. Even not. I mean, especially for the younger generations, suddenly it's like so much a huge percentage of their freedom and their privileges are no longer there for them, and it's also a humbling situation for younger generation. To see, what a country is in times of a crisis. This will be a historic historic chapter in our country's history about how our people react and manage and in this crisis, and their level of maturity, understanding, and the humanity factor in able to care for one another. I mean, nobody wants this to drag any longer than it is right now. But I guess we should all just come to our senses and do the right thing in this period for the next 28 days. I mean, it's going to be tough. There will be a lot of other situational problems that might pop up. But then, if we can manage these 28 days and do the right thing that we should be doing, I guess we can get out of this rut quickly, and hopefully, by the months of June, July, things can be a bit back to more back to normal.
Agree. So you're
Yeah.
talking about back to normal. How should we stay positive? How should we stay positive in a time like
Uh,
this? Yeah, honestly speaking, I myself, I've been struggling. Like for
mm,
example, with the Singapore government grants and everything. Us being not eligible and being
right.
having to stay home, no businesses, and we have revenues being cut. Clients saying, "Oh, we are not continuing the project." Events being
Mm.
cancelled. Yeah.
Well, you
How
see, let's talk about the situation. Look at the situation of self-employed person. In Singapore, we
mm,
have 100 over, I mean, over about 200,000 self-employed people.
mm-hmm.
Okay, when they first announced the resilient package, it was um, reported that 88,000 people would benefit. And what about the other 120,000? Then subsequently, in the third budget that came out, they kind of widened the criteria more
Mm,
so that they could accommodate more people. So they are able to reach out to about 120,000 people, and that leaves about another 80,000 more
80,000.
who for
Me.
one or two criteria, they cannot meet, and then they are out of this entire benefit.
Yes.
Yes, we are in a way we feel that why is it that we don't get to I mean we don't deserve it because basically let's look at it realistically. These people, this 80,000 people who do not qualify, obviously one of the reasons is they either have income that is more than eligible, or they stay in a property that couldn't match the annual value, the, that couldn't match the annual value that was set.
Yes.
But
Yes.
there are a lot of reasons behind it. Some self-employed people, they need the space to work. They work.
Mm-hmm.
They need the space to work, or they need the space to hold their inventory and things like that. At the same time, it's also a co-residential place. Not everybody can afford to rent from industrial locations, and sometimes they don't really need that industrial space also because all they need is something a little bit bigger, one or two extra rooms. And they fall through the cracks, like all of us, some of us, myself, and things like that. And then there were some comments from people from the first 88,000. They mentioned that, people like us who earn a bit more or stay in bigger houses, we don't deserve this support package because we obviously make more money than them. But that's just an unfair statement. If you look at
Mm.
it, if people that make
Oh,
more money, paid more taxes, that's how guys, who don't make so much are able to benefit from it.
mm.
That's where we contribute and help to build this thing, and that so that for those of you all who are on a lower income level, you get to you get such a program coming by able to help you because we pay more taxes. But it's
Yep.
just like business owners now. You can see some of the business owners, the directors, they don't get any of the benefits. So far all the resilient packages or the packages that has been dished out, it's pro employee, not pro
Yep.
business owners. You know, so they are also
I, I
suffering. Also suffering.
I have a good news here. I have a good news here. Maybe we can work with Melvin because Melvin has started a big thing, right? Elim Chu, 77th Street's boss,
Yes.
founder, sorry. She just
Mm,
texted me like
mm.
5 minutes ago. So
Okay.
she's trying to round up the number of businesses that is being affected. So we are going to put up an appeal. Dylan from Future Ready Asia as well. So all of us, we are coming together. I just received the text only while we are having this live
Wow.
session. Yeah, so just as you speak, and then so yeah, I think it's a great thing. Maybe we can put up all the cases together, the number of businesses that fall through this gap. And I
Yeah.
think the gap is pretty wide. That's why this 80,000 of us actually go falls
I
through
mean,
it.
it's not. It's like we probably didn't fit one or at most two criteria, and it's just so sad. And because of that, we
Mm,
all fall through the cracks. But
right.
everybody. I mean, we all work hard enough. We work harder than some of our fellow self-employed persons. I mean,
Mm,
everybody has a choice, to build their financial stability and to build their business from scratch. So
yes.
it's we should say that we are also helping one another in this way. But
Yep.
unfortunately, sometimes the now as I would say, what about the other 88,000 people?
Who
I mean, the
falls
other
through the gap,
yeah,
right?
fall through the cracks and not able to be entitled to any of this self-employed person's help. You know, we
Okay.
are just so missed out by a small margin.
Yeah. Okay. So those of you who are watching this in Singapore and you are business owner or you have friends who are business owner, you know that they fall through the gap. Maybe you can help us with something. You know, now with Chef Eric with us, you know, with so many things that we are trying to do to put out an appeal and to let the government understand a bit more of our situation. If you know of any of these people who falls through the gap, please do let us know. And how do you let us know? You can either DM us through our Instagram or Facebook, or if not, you can drop us an email at info@successpedia.asia. Yeah, I think this is the time, or you can also stretch out your hands to help your friends who are being affected. You know that they are business owner, and then you text them, they're like, oh, I don't get this, I don't get that, you know. And
And also, it's not just business owners. I think it's the self-employed persons, the ones who used to do better, who have higher commitment and stakes in their so-called level of success. They all lost it overnight, in this. So it's not just small business owner, but self-employed people who used to be more successful before the pandemic came. These are the ones that now they have been hammered, but they are not eligible because of their past success stories. I think that's kind of a bit unfair.
yes, right, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Chef, having said all this, right? I just want to know. What is your current wish? If I'm a genie in a bottle, a genie in a bottle sounds like a song. Okay, it is a song. Okay, anyway. So if I'm a genie and I can grant you one wish, what would be that greatest wish of yours in this current situation?
Well, my greatest wish, okay, is actually very, very simple. And I think I can represent all the people in the F&B industry to say this, to everyone here in Singapore. Please, please just stay at home. Let us get over with this thing and let everybody in the F&B industry have a chance to breathe again and recover from this crisis that has really hammered our food culture in Singapore. I mean, look at the possibility of the number of restaurants, establishments, or even hawkers that are likely to close down within the next 2 months if the situation doesn't get better. Look at that. What what is going to happen when we finally manage to contain this pandemic, and we find ourselves, no more of all this F&B, happiness around anymore. Suddenly we're looking at empty hawker centers, we're looking at empty malls with no F&B attractions and things like that, because people are all burnt out. People have lost everything, and it would be a shame if we lost it because of some people who do not understand the seriousness of the situation and force the government to drag the circuit breaker into a longer timeline, and that will really kill the entire F&B industry. So my only wish is, guys, please cooperate if you still want to see your favorite hawkers and your favorite restaurants around. Please stay at home.
Oh yeah, I wish I can snap my fingers and grant your wish now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I really do agree that whatever you have just said, that now people should stay at home, and then
Yeah.
to give us that breathing space after this whole circuit breaker is over. And anyway, just sidetrack circuit breaker. There's a lot of people laughing at the name because the acronym is actually very vulgar.
Yeah. Your mind is in the direction, of course, everybody gets the gist.
Yes, yes. Okay, so the viewers that who are viewing this, if you have something that you wish to tell to ask Chef Eric, I think this is the time to ask now before we actually close our session. It was a very enjoyable session with you, Chef.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
So
hope that everybody can pull through this situation. I guess a lot of F&B people are badly hurt now, but they are trying to keep their spirits up. You can see that nobody is really smiling in F&B given the current situation. But then life still has to go on, and we are the F&B people who are still running their business now. The hawkers or the caterers, the people who are doing takeaways, they are also the frontline people. They also deserve to be recognized.
Yes.
It's very,
Yes.
very tough for them. And then you have people who walk in and make life difficult, for the small, stupid reasons. I tell you guys, please, please, please respect the F&B workers now. They are equally as important as any other frontline workers right now.
Yes, they are. They are. In fact, actually, I was supposed to run a campaign, getting hawkers to, because we have the frontline workers, and then we also have the hawkers. And when there was a period of time where all these hawkers, they, because the frontline, there's so many people that donated food to the frontliners. You still remember that period of time? Yeah. And when that happens, right, who are those that is being affected? It's an ecosystem that the hawkers didn't have any of this patrons, because first thing first, the frontliners received the food back in their workplace, and they stopped going to the hawkers, so the hawkers were being affected. So we actually wanted, but it was a bit beyond our capacity at that point of time.
Yeah.
That's why the campaign actually stopped. But now, knowing you, and knowing that Melvin is here, is your good friend and good acquaintance, so yeah, maybe there's a lot of things that we can actually work together, and then we can,
Well, yeah,
another ground up initiative.
correct, correct. In fact, a lot of people are trying to help the hawkers. I mean, another person I should mention, I think everybody knows, is KFC Toll. He has been rallying, everybody, to try their
Sorry,
best.
who again?
KFC Toll, Makan Sutra, I think you should know him.
Oh, Marcus. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, okay,
We
yeah.
we are all trying to, rally with, helping each other, trying to help this situation right now, whether in terms of social media posting or encouragement and this and that and everything. I think it's not just it's a whole entire industry or the team effort that is trying to keep this whole thing alive right now. I mean, what Melvin did was great. What Sito did was fantastic. And then for me, I just try to help, in terms of social media and sharing whatever good comes along. And of course, if people ask me, hey, you got any recommendation at this moment? Yeah, I'll come in on a private message. I'll just tell them that, hey, these are the places that you should go, because the hawkers may not be IT savvy, but their food is really good. I mean, I just recommended one Facebook friend. She was asking me, Chef, you know how to make ngoh hiang or not? I say, hey, the ngoh hiang I can, but if you want a full combo of everything there, I'm not the expert. But then, then she showed me a picture of her favorite store. I say, these guys are good, but let me tell you another, one that's, in my opinion, as a chef, that's even better. And I directed her to go there and say that, go and help them, go and support them on any of those delivery apps and stuff like that. And they basically, it's a family business, and it's critical that at a point like this, people can still reach out to them or stuff out the food at least.
Right. Okay. Yep. All right. So yeah, I guess we have come to the end of our conversation.
Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've enjoyed.
Chance here to rant a little bit.
Pardon, sorry.
Actually, it's more like expressing, what has how the industry has. I mean, this is more for people who are not in F&B, where they don't get the insights about what's going on or how difficult the situation is for now. I mean, a lot of people complain that they cannot get their favorite food, or the delivery is late, or the standard of cooking has dropped. But they don't see all the background problems that all the food business people are facing now. Ingredients issue, cost issue, even packaging issue. You can see that there are stories about packaging, food packaging suppliers not able to meet the sudden demand because of this switchover. Yeah, so there are challenges from every angle, and I think the most critical one now is liquidity or cash flow for a lot of these businesses. And like I say, for every one of you out there still able to have a meal on your table right now, do spare a thought for the F&B workers.
Yep. Yeah, I think one of your acquaintance, C. Kai Xuan. Kai Xuan actually said, is that he? Is a guy, right? Yeah. So, yep. So Kai Xuan actually agreed with what you have said. So yeah.
Yes.
All right. So to round up,
Yeah.
do you have anything that you want to say to the viewers?
Well, I
Before we
pretty
round
much
it up.
said, what I have to say. I just want everybody to, stay healthy, stay positive in this situation. I'm sure all of us will ride out the storm, but there are few industries that are badly hit now. My friends in aviation, the tourism industry, in the F&B, they are all badly hammered. So, one thing I would like to say is that for those industries who have prospered during this crisis, please do your needful duty to support, those industries that have been hit,
Support
especially
chef,
in terms of,
support me.
yeah, every for all those people that have been hit by this pandemic, I'm sure there are some businesses that are able to survive and make money. I mean, those people who are selling masks, I'm sure you are laughing all the way to the bank right now. So I think when this whole thing is over, it's time for you to, return back to
The ecosystem.
yeah, return back to the ecosystem. If you have made your money during this time, please, spend it on the people who are trying to recover after this crisis. Spend it in the tourism industry, spend it in the F&B industry. Do whatever you can, to help this whole country recover back together.
All right. Okay, thank you so much, Chef Eric. So, viewers, I hope
Thank you.
all of you had a good time with us, having some of the insights. It is our first session, and we are blessed to have actually Chef Eric with us. And it's also my first time actually doing such a live show. And I hope that I'm not a very bad host in your opinion. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I think I like this kind of casual, discussions or sharing. I mean, it's a tough time for everyone, and not everybody has a chance to share, what's really going on in the F&B world.
Yep. Okay, so yeah. All right, so for the viewers, please stay with us tomorrow at 8 p.m. again. Who do we have? We have Ken Teo from Invade. So Ken Teo is actually the guy who brought Shiling Night Market to Singapore. And as you guys have known that it was supposed to happen again, but the other, what's the other
Market, is it? The Taiwanese market was supposed to be
yes,
in
and also
Sentosa.
the Thailand, there's some Thailand one.
Sentosa.
Box, yes. So yes,
Box.
so Ken Teo is the one who brought our box into Singapore and also Shiling Night Market. So and we all know that this whole impact has disrupted the whole events.
Yes.
So tomorrow at 8 p.m. we are going to meet the founder, not the founder, but the man who brought all these great events into Singapore. And if you have any questions you want to ask him, please tomorrow at 8 p.m. live with Successpedia Asia Journey to Success Resilience series. So, yep. So we will see you guys there. So, bye, Chef.
Bye,
Yes, I'll wait for you. Once this is over, I'm going to come to your place and you're going to teach me how to cook some special dish. Okay?
Yeah, I'll share you my Teochew food.
Okay. Bye.
Good night. Have a great evening.